Hey babes, I know it's been a really long time, but I'm back on. I think it's been about 1.5 years since my last video, but with the pandemic and whatnot, I've kind of reclused to myself and just tried to focus on like my mental health. So I wanted to pop on here because I received a DM from someone last week asking about alopecia and relationships, and it really triggered me, not in a bad way, but in a way that like I need to come on here and do a life update and a hair update because it's been so long. And from what I have posted in my videos, it's like definitely not that picture anymore. So first things first, I am single. I'm not in that relationship. I'm not going to delete those videos because people are still watching them and messaging me on Instagram about some questions they have. And I do think it's good to show, the relationship stuff, even though it didn't work out. We broke up 1 year ago and it was very, very hard for me. I got really depressed, not just with the breakup. At the same time, I was diagnosed with a hip disease and I was moving. So a lot of it just kind of hit me at once. While in a pandemic, everything's so much more dramatic in a pandemic. So I really felt depressed. I was stuck in bed because of the hip and I was heartbroken. So all I could do is really just like not move and just cry all the time. I started to grow my hair out because I didn't really have the energy to shave it or what. I just didn't care because I wasn't wearing wigs. My job went remote, so I was working from home, literally working in bed. I was in bed for months. So now I am out of bed and my hip, I had surgery in February, so my hip is doing okay. I'm working out slowly. It's a lot. It's a journey on its own. So not only am I dealing with like my hair loss journey, which is never ending, but now I have this hip disease, which is incurable. It's called Avascular Necrosis. So my hip bones essentially are dying and because they don't get enough blood circulation. So eventually I'll need hip replacements, but for now I'm good. So now that the hip is underway, I'm deciding to get back out there and start dating. And this is super hard for me just because I think every time we go through a breakup, like it's a time for us to kind of transform ourselves and transition ourselves into our next chapter. And for me, I got really insecure after this breakup because one, it was like my first real adult love. Like I kind of have been an avoidant person for a long, long time and hadn't been in love since I was like 17. So this was hard. It was the first relationship I was vulnerable in. She saw me without my wig, like our first date. I didn't, when the pandemic, like I never wore a wig. Like I was always just like bald head and I gained 25 pounds. So it was just like, I was not my best self. And not to say that I was, not my best self because I wasn't wearing a wig all the time, but I know what it feels like when I feel attractive, and I didn't feel attractive towards the end of that relationship. So when we broke up, I looked inward and I blamed it on myself. Accepting that and realizing that, hey, it wasn't because you didn't wear a wig or it wasn't because you gained weight. Like it's someone has to do, like everyone has their own journey, and sometimes your timing doesn't line up, and I think that's just what it was. So I got out. Even when I was getting out, I didn't think it was over for real, but it definitely was. It is. So now I'm kind of building my confidence back up. So that's why I got a sew and weave, which is what this is. I talk about it on my Instagram. You can look at my highlights under weave. And it's been really nice because I can grow my bio hair out at the same time, but then also have like great hair, and it looks super natural. The cons with this though is that it's really expensive and it doesn't last as long as I want it to. I have to keep getting it retied and dyed because it oxidizes. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do the weave anymore, which is the most natural and easiest to date with because it's so secure. I'm not ready to go back to shaving my head because my confidence level is a little low. So I think I might cut my weave out and go back to wigs. But my point in telling you all this is to remind you that like the hair loss journey, alopecia, whatever your diagnosis is, it's forever. It doesn't end because we're gonna constantly face situations that might knock our confidence down and make us feel less than. And it's up to us to do the work and build ourselves back up. And while we're building ourselves back up, it's okay if you're not shaving your head and screaming to the world that you have alopecia. It doesn't mean you're not accepting it. It just means you need to take some time for you to get comfortable with yourself again. And that's kind of what I've been doing. And that's why I've been MIA for so long. And when I got a DM last week, I really was like, wow, I should get back onto my YouTube channel and give an update because I've gotten some new subscribers and I have not been present. So I apologize for that, but I have been taking care of my mental health because depression is no fun. But I'm finally seeing the light, and fall is my favorite season, and I'm really excited to continue working on myself and my hair loss journey and get out there and start dating, even though I'm dreading it. But I think the thing we have to remember with our alopecia is that we have to accept it, right? It's not going away. So if we can just know that like we're putting our best foot forward, and whether that's wearing a wig and hiding it from someone and not telling them until the third, fifth date or never, whatever, that's okay. But whatever decision you make is the right one. Don't ever feel like just because other people are flaunting their bald heads and telling the world they have alopecia that you have to be doing that too. We are all individuals, though we may share something in common. We are on this journey together, but we're all individuals and we have to take our time and do what's right for us. So on that note, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will hopefully be posting more updates once I cut my weave out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.